This is a 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4X. And in this video, I'm going to go over some hard truths about this one. I borrowed it from Jerry Seiner, Buick GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. Be sure to ask for Frank. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see options and features on this build. At the very top is the description with the colors. And then here's a short listing of their standard equipment. Be sure to pause. Base price comes in at $79,400, and the only option on this one is the 6.2 liter with the active exhaust, which comes a part of that. Destination comes in at $1,995 with a total price of $83,290, and here are the Philly comment numbers off to the side. I think the main reason why I would get an AT4X is simply for this front bumper. It is stamped steel, and it has the cast recovery hooks on it as well, right there. You can also add a winch to this too, so right out of the gate you just have a lot more options when you get the AT4X, and that bumper now comes standard for 2025 as it did last year. Now on the front end you also have that bronze color on the grille. They also give you a camera with a sprayer when it gets dirty, active grille shutters, premium lighting top and bottom, and it does have the front parking sensors too. One nice thing about this bumper as well, if you get it aftermarket, it's not available to purchase yet, but it does have all the crash specs for it too that the OEM bumpers have to have, so it's pretty overbuilt as well. You can also see the skid plates down below. And let's take a quick peek at the suspension. This is partially why this truck costs so much. Up front you do have a double wishbone independent suspension. Also you have the Multimatic DSSV, which is dynamic suspension spool valve, and it is in a coilover setup too. That top control arm is going to be aluminum along with your steer knuckle, and you have a hydroformed lower control arm which is finished in steel. It also has some stiffening on there as well. Now this suspension, or the shock absorber I should say, is in a triangular form, and this does not use deflective disc for the dampening. It basically uses the spool valves, and one of the chambers does have an oil reservoir as well. Now you guys can see there too, it does have the liner which is finished in a fabric material, and here's a look at these tires. These are the Goodyear Wrangler Territory MTs, 18-inch wheel, 6-lug, and it does have the 4-piston brakes which are easy to service. The tire size is going to be an LT 275/70/18, which is 33.2 inches tall, 10.8 inches wide, and then here's the capacity for the tire, 2,680 pounds at 50 psi cold. And then here's another look at that suspension. They are still using the wax coating on the frame too. You can see that sway bar a little bit better on this side too. Plastic for the fender flares, and here's some of that badging, more of that bronze color. And they do give you the lights here. And stepping back, here's a nice side view. You only can get AT4X in a standard bed configuration too. Not a bad looking truck. They do have the rock rails or high clearance steps available. You cannot get power deployable running boards with this truck. Smart key system, and I like how they give you the gloss black around the windows. Blind spot monitoring, more cameras, and you have the puddle lights under the mirrors. 24-gallon fuel tank, and with that 6.2 you do have the Burn Premium. Then here's a quick peek at that suspension. So you do have more leaves in here. So that bottom one's going to be a helper spring, and then you have 4 leaves in that main pack. They do give you a liner standard out back. And what do you guys think about these wheels? They have like a dark gray or gunmetal look to them. They have that rugged design for sure. Out back you do have the standard bumper, which is how I would get an AT4X. If I were to get the bumpers, like I have a HD, I probably would just get the front one because I do like the idea of having the steps out back. Multi-Pro tailgate, full LED tail lights, parking sensors, class 4 hitch. They do give you the camera provisions for your trailer, and you do have a locker out back electronic. You can see that dual exhaust, and that Multimatic is on all 4 corners. I didn't show you up front. Let me show you the skid plates real quickly. So there's where your engine is going to be at. So you have a lot of protection there. That's your transmission, so that is exposed. And then for your transfer case, they do have a skid plate. You also have a locker up front too. I didn't mention that earlier. But front rear lockers. Now if you get the AV edition, you will get more skid plates down below. One nice benefit of this truck is you do get a full-size matching wheel and tire. Active exhaust does come a part of this, as you saw when you get the 6.2 liter. You have a camera and a light. And then this does break down into a step. You also have the kicker sound system on this one. And this one does have the USBs. Bed lights, they do provide a handle to help you get in to the bed. Also, you have 400 watts of power and 2 cameras above. Putting the tailgate back up too is pretty easy. And then here's a side view of the truck. This optional 6.2 liter does have decent performance. The nice thing about having a V8 is you do have that low end torque and there's no lag compared to those twin turbo engines. Now with that being said, 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque does seem kind of low, but like I said, this truck can hold its own, and it does have a 10-speed transmission behind it. So it's gonna have a 323 rear end, I believe. Also, if you don't use premium, you don't get that 420 horsepower. Just keep that in mind. Now, with that being said, we got to talk about dynamic fuel management. I would 100% use the gear limiter if this was my truck, so I'm going to show it to you guys in a second. But here's some hard truth about this AT4X half-ton. If you were looking at an HD, a lot of people say this on my channel, so I'm just going to just make a point about it. An HD AT4X, which is a 2500, costs under $2,000 more than this truck. So you can spend another $2 grand, basically. I think it's like $1,900 and some change, and literally get an HD truck that has way more capability. Now, obviously, that is with a gas engine, so you have to keep in mind, depending on where you live at, like I live high above elevation, and because of that, that L8T gas engine in the HDs do feel a little sluggish out here. But if you're not ever planning on towing a trailer and you do plan on going off-road, obviously this is the way to go, because this truck is a lot lighter and it's going to be more capable because you do have the lockers front and rear, versus on the HD you only have a rear locker on that truck. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. This is probably the best interior in the segment. I could be a little biased simply because I own the truck, but I really do believe if I didn't own it, this is still one of the best. I think the Obsidian Rush really hit the nail on the head. Like, it is almost perfect. Now, the only negative thing I've mentioned in other videos, I'm going to say it on this one. They did remove the leather they put in this pocket here, and it's not a big deal because I don't think most people even noticed it on their truck. So yeah, not a big deal, but you know, this truck did go up $200 more for 2025. I didn't mention it earlier. Yes, this truck costs $200 more for 2025. Now you guys can see right here, you have the seat memories. Also, you have some satin on this door handle, black chrome, real wood. You can feel how porous it is, and they just burnt it, which looks perfect inside of here. You have some red, white stitching and white piping. You do have the premium sound system, so you get extra speakers when you get this AT4X. I believe it's 12 versus 9. And you have the massage seats. It's just for the top part. You also have a shoulder support, and you can adjust the bolstering on the top part of the seat to make it tighter around you. Power steering column, you have multiple drive modes, and because this has the active exhaust when you put it in sport mode, it does get a little bit louder. Electronic parking brake, you have your lighting right there. They do provide these grab handles with leather, and the roof does have the suede as well. So really well appointed interior. You can even see on the dash there, you have some of that white stitching and piping. Let's go ahead and check out the passenger side. 16-way seats on both sides, by the way. They do provide an AT4X badge right there. You can see that perforated leather, great graphics. And all this is in a nice smooth leather up here. Soft touch, and I like the design on this dash there. A little bit of storage, they give you this velvet material. And then here's your glove box, your kicker sound system information. To no one's surprise, you cannot use this for a bed camper. And here are your floor mats. They do have those removable carpet in there too. And then out back, they do provide more leather wrapping on these grab handles. Seat back pockets, outboard heated seats, a little bit of storage. Yeah, this is a really nice truck for sure. Let's go ahead and check out some of the features up front again. They do give you some animations on the screen. And yeah, this is again well appointed, very easy to use and learn if you're getting into this interior for the first time. Just really quickly, 360 camera. Oh, I forgot, you have to buckle seatbelt to shift. You can disable that too. It's very easy. I'll show you how to do it. But yeah, reverse, you have your bird's eye view, great camera views for going off-road, and also you have this guy. Zoom in just if you need to check on your cargo. Now, something else to consider too. If you would like a top part like this for bird's eye, you have that as well. If you need to zoom into your conventional hitch, that's available too. Now, you guys see all your controls: heated and ventilated front seats, dual climate control. Here are all your controls for your lane keep assist alert. You can turn that on. Parking sensors, auto stop start. You also have a way to drop that tailgate from inside. You can't lift it back up though. Caution lights, traction control, downhill assist, and then you have your rear and front rear lockers. So nice stuff there. You guys pretty much saw your gear shifter, your trailer brake controller, wireless charger, 2 USBs there and there, 120 volt power plug, and deep storage. At the very top, home link, you have your LED lights. Vanities are still wrapped in that suede material. And heads-up display, you can probably see it right there, 15-inch. Now, as I said on the outside, if you want to put the truck in manual mode, all you have to do is just put it in drive and then tap it back. Now it's in, and then you can lock it using your paddle shifters, or you could even use, oh, actually, hold on. I don't think you can use this. You have to use the paddle shifters up here to lock it in a 10th gear. That way the dynamic fuel management doesn't come on, which is the cylinder deactivation, so it can run on 4 cylinders. I prefer not to have that system come on personally. So yes, you can basically lock it in, and you guys can see right there, it is in sport mode, off-road, terrain, and then you have normal too. So most people put it in sport mode because of the louder exhaust, but if you put it in normal, it does quiet everything down for you too, and I was using that down below. Now if you put it in tow haul mode, that's what it would look like basically. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to show you guys. If you would like to customize the screen, you can move things around. You can remove things out of here if you like. You can put your cameras up top, things like that. Your Apple CarPlay can be added in there too if you like. If you go to settings, there's a few things that you can set up in here. If you go to vehicle, you can turn off that buckle to drive. You can turn off the rear seat reminder. If you go down to comfort and convenience, you do have the option to add remote mirror folding, so when you lock it, it'll close in the mirrors for you automatically. Rain sensing wipers can be disabled if you like. Love the split screen that they give you on this side. Have your trailer information in there, and they just give you a clock like that. Let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door. gross axle weight rating out front is going to be 3,950 pounds, and that's because of that heavier bumper on the front end. It would be normally 3,800 pounds. The rear is 3,800 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is 7,100 pounds. 18 by 8.5 wide wheels. All in payload is 1,270 pounds. And you can tow up to 8,700 pounds. They say Gooseneck is 4,900 pounds, which is laughable. Gross combined weight rating is 15,000, and this truck weighs just under 6,000 pounds on the curb too, which is pretty crazy. It's a heavy truck. And then 1,270 pounds on the yellow sticker. That's the payload basically, and it shows you the tire pressure, 38 psi all the way around. I hope you guys liked the video. This is definitely a really nice truck. I think that if you're looking for something that is capable, you don't really plan on towing a trailer, this obviously is a better buy over an HC truck, because the HC truck is going to ride a little bit rougher. They have the same Multimatic DSSV suspension, but it's just a little bit rougher because it's a heavier truck. So the spring rate's probably different. You have a little bit stiffer leaf springs. So that's where this is a better buy, obviously, for those looking for a pickup truck.